That's right. See, that's why the numbers are there. Yeah, I'm letting them recede. So letting them recede. But just to see, so 2 of them. There'll be a third. All right, let's try it now. Now let's try it look here. See, we have the same image, brings together, holds together. That's looking at words as they function, get a picture of them. See this beautiful picture of embracing? Right? Unusual, is it not, for such artistry to be displayed in public? Well, yin-yang symbols are going to be part of it, it looks like. Okay. So, we need a nice reader. Thank you, Miss, for volunteering.
And if the one is what brings together and holds together beings, it perfects each according to its presence.
See, according to its presence. What does it do? It perfects each of these beings. Right? It perfects each of them. So each of them gets a little star. No, can't use a star with. Oh, okay. See? Little medals, little merit badges. So what does the one do? Come on, what does it do? It
brings together
and
holds together.
Keep going. And
perfects each.
How does it do that?
Well, it brings together and holds together beings, perfects each according to its presence.
According to the presence of the one. So, right? This has got a power. This has some very interesting power. Right? Because all you then have to do is get in the presence of the one, and that's all you need. In Procluses, that's all you need. But you have to be receptive to it. Well, look here. If this is the case, then what's happening then to all things? What's happening to these things?
According to its presence.
According to the presence of the one, each of them is becoming
held together.
Perfect. There's a perfection there for it. Now, if that's true, then what's happening to these things? They're going through what? A unification, are they not? They're going through a unification. I just wanted to pick up some terms that we have been using. Right? Completion, right? Union, unifies. Well, if that's true for all beings, then all beings then are being brought to a state of perfection by the presence of the one. Well then, if that's true, what can we say about unification?
It's good for all.
It's good for all. No prejudice in the one. Right. Now, wait a minute. If that's the case, is it possible then that we can make a statement? Then, if unification is in itself good and it's good for all, would you not agree unification is a process of bringing things together as and to a union? Well then, look here, if the one is what brings together and holds together the being of each and brings each to a perfection, it's the presence of the one that brings that about, and that unification then is good for all, well then unification produces a union. But if union is in itself good, is it? If unification is in itself good, it's good for all, then wouldn't it follow then That union is itself good? Would you go along with that? That would follow, would it not? Union is itself good? Ha! And the good then is what unifies. Is that right? Is the good what unifies? Does it?
Yes.
Does it? And the good does what? By its presence. What does it do? See? Brings to completion. Right. According to the union. Ah. All right. But if union is itself good, and what's the good? The good is what unifies? Then the good is the same as the one. Because wouldn't it follow? If union is itself good, and the good is what unifies, well, then you have something quite interesting between union and unifies. Three terms are being used. Union, unity, unifies. Union is itself good if unification is good for all, because that's the result of it. And if the good is what's doing that unifying, well then, good heavens, wouldn't it follow then that the good is the one? Because would it not follow that if you have a if the good is what brings things according to a union, if that's what you have, if the good is what brings things to a completion, holds together as one, and that holds it together according to the union, well, then the good is what unifies. And then we consider again, we say, look here, what's the one doing? Well, the one is what's doing what? It's unifying, isn't it? Go ahead. In the presence of the one, it brings all of these beings to perfection, brings them together, holds them together. By its influence, it brings about a unification. Well, the good is the same as the one. There shouldn't be any difference then between the two. Well, there's the one, brings together beings of each, holds them together, right? Perfects them all by its presence. Wow. Here's the good, brings it all about, right? And by its very presence, right? What does it do? God heavens. See, it's the good by its presence. It brings all things to completion as one. Well, good heavens, it looks like we're making a nice connection between the good and the one. Huh. And if we say, as it brings it to completion as one, and whatever it is that holds together according to the union. But what is it that holds together? Why, that's the one. Ah! Well, if it holds together, you see each, that's the one. And the good then, by its presence, brings everything together as one and holds it together according to the union. Well, it looks like the good is the one. Oh, in what way? Well, it would be unifying, wouldn't it? It would be unifying. And by that very unifying, it would be making things good. Ah. Wow. Wait a minute, does that fit here? Does that fit? Health. Is health something that brings together things and holds them together and by its presence perfects the body? Then in this way, health is something that's a kind of a unifying power, unification, and it's good for anyone who is in need of that kind of healthiness, is it not? Well then health, right, is a unifying force. It's itself good for the body. Well, good heavens, then if the good is what